about this combination, this mix of things that we want to watch?
Yeah, I think, you know, it's got a bit of everything, this, Alex. You know, it's got a bit of romance, it's got a bit of it's got some gore, you know, it's a story that from a book that that Tom Wheeler wrote. So it's his imagination, what this world he's made, but through the lens of Frank Miller, who obviously has made some pretty iconic images throughout our culture. So it's kind of a mix of lots of those things. You know, you've got a bit of the fantasy, you've got a bit of the kind of mythology of the Arthurian legend, and then you've got, on top of it, you've got Frank's incredible imagination coming up with all kinds of bizarre looks and his kind of aesthetic placed on top of this this story. So I think it's got a lot of elements in it, Alex, that kind of all come together to make it entertaining, you know, to entertain you. The Weeping Monk, who is starts the series as a cold-hearted assassin of Father Carden, who is deeply troubled and conflicted. He is Father Carden's right-hand man, but he's conflicted inside. So you'll see, hopefully, by the end, what happens to him.
But what if the sword chooses a queen?
How can you make this character as bad as it needs? Because we have very violent world. You have to be the toughest man on the whole story, right?
The trick with that is to do less. You know, is you can't outdo everybody's evil. It has to be you have to do less and more economic with how. I think the scariest people to me are the people that don't look like they're moving, and then suddenly they'll do something and it will kill or destroy somebody. And that to me was like what I wanted to imbue in the character is a stillness that if he made a decision, it would be immediately and they would be dead. There would be no emotion, no thing to it. So that to me was always the deadliest version. You know, like you look at any of the top predators in the world, they use the minimum amount of effort to inflict the maximum amount of damage, and that I think is something I wanted to do with the Weeping Monk, is that he doesn't do a lot, but when he does it, it's extremely effective. It challenges you to think about this story from a whole different side of things. You know, that nothing looks the way that we've heard, you know, this story been told before, with nothing. It doesn't follow some of the same narratives that we've been told a number of times. So there are always little surprising things about this that as the series goes along, I think you're constantly surprised